The moment you stop explaining yourself, people lose one of their easiest ways to control you. They can misunderstand you, they can doubt you, they can criticize your choices or talk about you when you leave the room. But they can no longer pull you away from your work every time they demand a reaction. Most people lose years trying to manage opinions that were never theirs to control. They explain every boundary, they announce every goal, they defend every harmless choice. They watch the faces in the room before deciding what they believe. And because their attention is always outside themselves, their own life remains unfinished. A Stoic does something different. They become quieter, more focused, more deliberate. They listen to useful feedback, but they do not hold elections for every personal decision. They communicate what matters, but they do not place their identity on trial. They work without demanding applause and allow consistency to explain what words never could. This is what it means to move in silence. It does not mean becoming secretive, cold, or afraid to speak. It does not mean using silence to punish people. It does not mean tolerating injustice while pretending not to care. Moving in silence means refusing to spend valuable energy performing a transformation that has not yet been built. You stop announcing the plan and begin practicing it. You stop arguing about your potential and create evidence. You stop chasing every misunderstanding and return to your responsibility. Epictetus began with a distinction that remains powerful. Some things depend on us, while others do not. Your judgment, effort, values, and chosen conduct belong close to your responsibility. Other people's final opinions, interpretations, praise, and gossip do not. You can communicate honestly. You can correct an important lie. You can listen to criticism. But you cannot enter another mind and force it to understand you exactly as you wish. If your peace depends on accomplishing that impossible task, peace will always remain outside your control. In this video, you will learn 10 Stoic rules for focusing on yourself and moving in silence. You will learn how to stop over-explaining, withdraw from unnecessary opinions, protect your attention, build before announcing, survive being misunderstood, replace validation with private standards, use silence wisely, choose one essential duty, stop chasing people and outcomes, and let consistent results speak. Each rule includes a practical action you can use today, and stay until the 10th rule. It explains why talking about change too early can create the feeling of progress while quietly stealing the pressure required to produce it. The goal is not to disappear from life. The goal is to stop disappearing from your own life every time someone else has an opinion. Your attention is limited. Your time is finite. Your work is waiting. Let us begin by ending the habit that turns every decision into a courtroom defense. Han Vongrula, Nantha, Rule 1. Stop explaining every decision. Over-explaining looks like communication, but often it is fear wearing polite language. You decline an invitation, then provide 5 reasons, because silence makes you imagine their disappointment. You change direction, then rehearse a speech, proving that the choice is reasonable. You set a boundary, then continue explaining till crossed it, until the person who crossed it, 1, agrees that you were allowed to have. The first rule is to stop explaining every decision. This does not mean refusing accountability. If your choice directly affects someone, you owe them honesty and reasonable information. A business partner deserves clarity. A family member affected by a major decision deserves consideration. A team needs to understand work that changes their responsibilities. But many personal choices do not require a public defense. You may leave an event early. You may refuse to discuss a private matter. You may stop drinking. You may change your routine. You may spend less time with someone who repeatedly disrespects you. You may choose work that other people would not choose. A clear sentence is often enough. I won't be able to attend. I've decided to take a different direction. I'm not discussing that subject. That arrangement no longer works for me. Then comes the difficult part, silence. The other person may look disappointed. They may ask why. They may interpret the decision through their own fears. Your nervous system feels pressure to fill the space and restore approval. That is the moment of practice. Ask yourself, am I clarifying or applying for permission? If clarification is useful, give it once. If you are repeating yourself because they refuse to accept the answer, shorten the conversation. I understand you disagree. My decision remains the same. We see this differently. I'm not continuing the discussion. I have explained what is necessary. Over-explaining gives manipulative people more material to debate. You say you are tired. They tell you everyone is tired. You say you need time. They explain why you have enough. You say the behavior hurt you. They accuse you of being sensitive. Every reason becomes a new doorway into an argument about whether your limit is valid. Close the doors. The Stoic question is not, can I make everyone approve? It is this decision honest, responsible, and consistent with my values? If it is not, correct it. If it is, accept that clarity may still disappoint someone. Practice concise honesty for 7 days. Before answering, decide the one sentence that communicates what matters. Say it. Then resist adding a paragraph only to manage perception. You will feel exposed at first. Good. That discomfort reveals how much approval was hidden inside your communication. Say what is true. Say what is necessary. Let silence carry the rest. Handholgamul. Rude 2. Stop collecting opinions from people. Woo, do not carry. The consequences. Many people ask for advice when they are actually asking for emotional permission. They describe the goal to 5 people. One person is excited. Another is skeptical. A third projects their own fear. By the end of the conversation, the original clarity is gone. The second rule is to stop collecting opinions from people who do not carry the consequences. Not every opinion deserves equal weight. Ask 4 questions before inviting someone into a decision. Do they understand the subject? Do they know my responsibilities and constraints? Are they directly affected by the outcome? Have they demonstrated judgment I respect? If the answer is no, their reaction may still be interesting, but it is not guidance. Docrepate 3 categories. First, qualified counsel. These are people with relevant experience, knowledge, and honesty. Listen carefully. Second, relational counsel. These are people directly affected by your choice. Even if they are not experts, their experience matters because your decisions exist within responsibility. Third, ambient opinion. This includes casual judgment, gossip, anonymous comments, comparison, and reactions from people who neither understand the decision nor share its cost. Do not let ambient opinion overrule qualified counsel or your responsibilities. Imagine starting a business. A person who has never built one may confidently tell you it will fail. Their concern may be sincere, but confidence does not create expertise. Imagine leaving a harmful environment. Someone who only sees the public version may say you are overreacting. They do not carry the daily cost. Imagine choosing a stable path instead of a glamorous one. A stranger may call it small. They will not pay your bills or live with the risk. This does not mean ignoring criticism. Arrogance rejects every voice that creates discomfort. Discernment evaluates the source, evidence, and relevance. When feedback arrives, ask, is it specific? Is it support? Can it improve an action within my control? If yes, use it. If no, release it. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to welcome correction when someone could show him he was mistaken. That attitude combines humility with stability. You can change your mind without surrendering it. Reduce the size of your advisory circle. For important decisions, choose 1 to 3 people who meet the standard. Listen, reflect, then decide. Do not return to the crowd because the wise answer felt uncomfortable. The crowd can provide endless opinions because it pays none of the consequences. Your life should not be governed by people who only visit it through commentary. Listen widely when learning. Choose carefully when deciding. Then accept responsibility for the result. Hanvelngrå, Root 3. Protect your attention. Like a private room, attention is the material from which your life is built. Whatever repeatedly receives, it becomes stronger. The work, the fear, the resentment, the skill, the comparison. The third rule is to protect your attention like a private room. Most people leave the door open. Notifications enter. News enters. Other people's emergencies enter. A stranger's opinion enters and receives more time than the important task. By evening, the mind is crowded, but nothing meaningful has been completed. Begin with the first hour. If your responsibilities allow, do not open social media, news, or unnecessary messages before deciding what your own attention will serve. Choose one essential action first. Rot, study, train, plan, ride, complete a difficult communication. The exact action depends on your role. The principle is that your mind should meet your priorities before the world assigns its own. Perform a 7-day attention audit. Each time you leave an important task, mark the reason: not lit, boredom, uncertainty, habit, fear of doing the work badly, another person's request. At the end of the day, identify the strongest leak, then design friction. Turn off non-essential notification. Move the phone to another room. Use website blockers. Keep a sheet for distracting thoughts. Set a specific time for messages. Dock rate before consuming. Attention also leaks through mental arguments. Someone criticized you yesterday, and today's best energy is still being spent answering them in imagination. Ask, is there an action available? If yes, take or schedule it. Clarify, apologize, set a boundary, correct the record. If no useful action remains, continuing the argument is voluntary occupation. Return to the present duty. This will not always feel satisfying. The mind prefers emotional unfinished business because it creates urgency. Your work may feel quieter. Choose the quieter importance. Protecting attention does not require ignoring people. Justice includes obligations. Family, colleagues, and community matter. But constant availability is not the same as service. A distracted person may be present everywhere and useful nowhere. Set periods of full attention. When working, work. When listening, listen. When resting, stop consuming problems you cannot act upon. Seneca warned that being everywhere can result in being nowhere. A protected mind is not isolated. It is selective enough to become capable. Your future will reflect what received your best attention repeatedly. Choose before something else chooses for you. Hanvelngrå 4. Build before you. Announcement creates an immediate emotional reward. You describe the plan and people react. They call you brave, disciplined, ambitious, or inspiring. For a moment, you receive the identity of someone who is changing before the evidence exists. The fourth rule is to build before you announce. This does not mean hiding every goal. Accountability can be useful. A coach, partner, mentor, or team may need to know. Public commitments can sometimes create structure. The problem begins when attention becomes a substitute for repetition. Before sharing, ask, does this person need to know? Will sharing create accountability or only excitement? Have I completed enough work to make the announcement useful? Try a 30-day private build. Choose one project or habit. Track it privately. Do not post daily proof. Do not explain the transformation. Collect the repetitions. Rot before calling yourself a writer. Train before building an identity around fitness. Save before talking about financial discipline. You pent before describing the channel you intend to create. Private work reveals whether the goal belongs to you or to the image you hoped it would produce. Can you continue when nobody is impressed? Can you work while results remain invisible? Can you tolerate being underestimated during the beginner stage? This is where character develops. Silence protects fragile beginnings from two dangers. Praise can make you feel finished too early. Doubt can make you defend a plan that still needs improvement. Private work allows reality to become the teacher. You discover whether the schedule is realistic, whether the method works, whether the goal survives boredom, whether you are willing to pay the cost. Do not turn silence into a revenge fantasy. If I disappear, everyone will regret doubting me. If your entire transformation is still organized around their future reaction, the audience remains in control. Build because the work matters. Share when sharing serves the work. Use one rule. Never announce a habit before completing enough repetitions to know its real demands. Let statements become smaller. Let evidence become larger. The strongest transformation often looks boring while it is happening. No dramatic speech, no constant updates, just a private promise kept again. Add Fangolog. Rule 5. Let people misunderstand you. You can choose your words carefully and still be misunderstood. You can set a reasonable boundary and be called selfish. You can become quieter and be called arrogant. You can leave conflict and be called weak. You can change your life and still be judged by the person you used to be. The 5th rule is to let people misunderstand you when further explanation no longer serves truth or responsibility. This is not permission to communicate badly. Clarify important misunderstandings. Correct false information when work, safety, relationships, or legal responsibility requires it. Listen when someone affected by your behavior says your intention did not match the impact. But distinguish meaningful clarification from compulsive image management. Ask, have I communicated what is necessary? Is this person listening in good faith? Will another explanation change the outcome or only continue the argument? Suppose you reduce contact with someone who repeatedly shares private information. You explain the boundary once. They tell others you became distant for no reason. You can spend months presenting evidence to every observer, or you can allow consistent behavior to become the long-term explanation. Not everyone deserves access to the complete case. Each person sees you through a lens shaped by history, fear, loyalty, and limited information. You can influence the picture through conduct. You cannot own the lens. Reputation exists in other minds. Character exists in your repeated choices. Protect the distinction. Practice small exposures to misunderstanding. Wear something you like without asking for reassurance. Share a thoughtful opinion without monitoring every reaction. Say no without writing a paragraph. Let an awkward moment end without apologizing 5 times. Each action teaches the nervous system. I can survive another person's uncertainty about me. There is humility here too. Sometimes the person misunderstanding you holds part of the truth. Listen once. Examine your conduct. Correct what belongs to you, but do not confuse reflection with surrendering to every interpretation. You do not need to become smaller so someone else's story remains comfortable. Sometimes peace begins when you accept that you will be the villain in a story. Written by someone who benefited from your lack of boundaries, let them write. You continue living. Handvalenber, Route 6. Repeat l'occupation. With a private scorecard you cannot simply stop seeking validation. The mind requires a standard. If you remove other people's approval without replacing it, you may drift into confusion or rebellion. You begin doing the opposite of what everyone expects just to prove independence. But automatic opposition is still control from the outside. The 6th rule is to replace validation with a private scorecard. Choose 4 qualities you want your conduct to express: wisdom, courage, justice, self-control. These align with the central Stoic virtues. but the words become useful only when translated into behavior. Wisdom asks, did I see the situation accurately? Courage asks, did I do what was necessary despite discomfort? Justice asks, did I respect other people and my responsibilities? Self-control asks, did I govern impulse, anger, appetite, and excess? At the end of the day, review one example for each. Do not ask only, did people like me? Ask, was I honest when dishonesty would have protected my image? Did I keep the private promise? Did I listen without preparing a defense? Did I complete the essential duty? Did I set the boundary without cruelty? Did I correct the mistake? This scorecard creates internal stability because praise becomes pleasant but not necessary. Criticism becomes information but not identity. Be careful not to use private standards as self-flattery. People can justify selfishness by saying, I know my truth. Your scorecard must include impact, responsibility, and willingness to be corrected. If several trustworthy people identify the same harmful behavior, investigate it. If evidence shows your method is failing, adjust. Stoic stability is not stubbornness. The standard should be demanding enough to expose your excuses and fair enough to recognize progress. Remote one correction, not 10 insults against yourself. Tomorrow, I will ask before assuming. I will begin the work before checking messages. I will apologize without adding a defense. Private validation is not repeating that you are perfect. It is knowing that your conduct can be examined honestly without collapse. The crowd may applaud a bad decision. The crowd may criticize a good one. A private scorecard gives you somewhere steadier to stand while still remaining teachable. Rudolph 7. Use silence as discipline. Not punishment. Silence can be wisdom. It can also be fear, manipulation, avoidance, or passive aggression. The seventh rule is to use silence as discipline, not punishment. Wise silence has a purpose. It prevents an impulsive reaction. It allows another person to finish. It refuses to feed gossip. It creates space for thought. It ends a conversation where nothing useful remains. Manipulative silence has a different purpose. It withholds communication to create anxiety. It punishes someone by making them guess. It avoids responsibility. It performs superiority. Ask, am I being silent to protect clarity or to control their feelings? When insulted, silence may be useful if the remark deserves no elevation. But if repeated disrespect requires a boundary, speak. That comment was inappropriate. Do not repeat it. When angry, silence may protect the relationship long enough for judgment to return. Say, I need time before continuing this conversation. I will return to it tomorrow. Then return. When gossip begins, silence is not enough if your expression encourages it. Redirect or leave. I don't want to discuss them when they aren't here. When someone demands an immediate answer, silence can create time. I'm going to think before responding. Stoic silence is active restraint. You are not speechless. You are deciding whether speech serves truth, justice, or useful action. Before speaking, use 3 filters. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is this the right time and form? Not every truth must be delivered immediately. Not every necessary message belongs in public. Not every feeling deserves expression in its first form. Use fewer words with greater responsibility. Do not respond to every online comment. Do not correct every harmless misunderstanding. Do not announce every future move. Do not fill every silence because uncertainty feels uncomfortable. But speak when silence would protect harm, allow deception, or abandon a duty. Moving in silence is not disappearing from courage. It is removing noise so courage can be heard when speech is actually required. Handlungsgrå, Nundagrå. Rude 8. Choose one essential duty and return. To it focus is not a personality trait reserved for naturally disciplined people. It is the repeated act of returning. The 8th rule is to choose one essential duty and return to it whenever noise pulls you away. A long list can hide the absence of priority. You answer messages, organize files, watch advice, adjust the plan, and call the day productive. The work that could change something remains untouched. Each evening, choose tomorrow's one essential duty. Ask, what has the greatest consequence if neglected? What am I avoiding because it creates discomfort? What action would allow me to respect the day even if other plans change? Write the answer as a concrete verb. Complete the first draft. Study Chapter 6 and solve 20 problems. Record the voiceover. Call the doctor. Have the conversation. Then define the first physical step. Open the document. Plea the notes on the desk. Dial the number. Put on the shoes. Protect a block of time before reactive work where possible. 30 to 90 minutes upon away. One subject. A sheet nearby for distracting thoughts. When the mind produces an argument about another person's opinion, write one word, later, and return. When the urge to check progress appears, continue for 5 minutes. When the work feels poor, produce the poor first version. Focus does not mean distraction never appears. It means distraction no longer decides what happens next. At the end of the block, record output, words written, problems solved, minutes edited, calls completed. Evidence is quieter than motivation and more useful. Do not define duty only through career output. Caring for a child, resting during illness, attending treatment, and repairing a relationship can be essential duties. The Stoic question is about your role and responsibility, not appearance. When noise returns, do not create another speech about focus. Return to the task. That return is the practice. Rule 9. Stop chasing people. Praise and perfect outcomes chasing begins when preference becomes dependence. You prefer a reply, then your peace depends on it. You prefer recognition, then the work feels worthless without applause. You prefer a relationship, then you begin negotiating against your dignity to keep it. The 9th rule is to stop chasing people, praise, and perfect outcomes. This does not mean becoming passive. Initiate, communicate interest, ask for the opportunity, follow up reasonably, work toward outcomes, then observe what returns. Chasing begins when evidence says no, and you keep trying to force yes. A person repeatedly gives minimal effort, but you provide enough energy for both sides. A workplace repeatedly ignores contribution, but you perform harder only to purchase recognition. An audience does not respond, and instead of learning from data, you beg for attention through noise. Stoicism distinguishes effort from outcome. Your responsibility is to act well, learn, communicate, and persist wisely. You do not control whether another person loves, chooses, understands, hires, promotes, or applauds you. Use the 2-attempt rule where appropriate. Make the clear invitation. Follow up once if the context supports it. Then let behavior answer. This is not universal. Work processes and important responsibilities may require more follow-up. Use judgment. The principle is to stop interpreting pursuit as proof of commitment. Sometimes commitment means continuing. Sometimes self-respect means releasing. Ask, am I acting because the goal remains wise, or because rejection injured my ego? Am I communicating or trying to force an emotional outcome? What evidence am I refusing to accept? When you stop chasing, space appears. You see who reciprocates. You see which work matters without applause. You see whether the goal belongs to your values or your image. Let people choose. Let outcomes contain uncertainty. Let your effort be excellent without demanding that reality reward it on your preferred schedule. Do your part fully. Then release what was never yours to command. Hanhangrara, Nanbrathora. Rule 10. Let consistency speak before arrive. The final rule is not to wait for dramatic success before believing the work matters. Let consistency speak before results arrive. Results are often delayed. The body changes after many sessions, skill appears after repeated failure, trust returns after consistent behavior. A channel grows after videos nobody noticed. A calmer character appears after pauses nobody applauded. If you require visible results before continuing, you will abandon most meaningful work during the phase when evidence is still private. Document a consistency log. At the end of each day, record one action. I completed the focused block. I did not explain the boundary twice. I let the comment pass. I returned after missing yesterday. I worked before checking the result. This becomes identity evidence. Confidence is not always a feeling that arrives before action. Often, it is a memory of actions repeated despite uncertainty. You know you can begin because you have begun. You know you can return because you have returned. You know misunderstanding is survivable because you allowed it without abandoning your values. Do not let results will speak become an excuse to ignore feedback. Track relevant data. If the method is failing, change it. If the title does not attract clicks, test another. If the work does not retain attention, improve the opening and pacing. If a habit repeatedly collapses, redesign the environment. Consistency means loyalty to the purpose, not blind repetition of an ineffective method. Work quietly, measure honestly, adjust without drama. Use a weekly review. What did I complete? What improved? What repeatedly interrupted me? What will I change next week? Do not ask whether everyone noticed. Ask whether the evidence grew. The final danger is waiting for results so you can return and prove people wrong. If revenge remains the goal, they still control the direction. Let results serve your life, responsibilities, and values. The strongest result is not that critics become silent. It is that their noise becomes irrelevant to your next action. You no longer need to announce change. Your schedule shows it. Your work shows it. Your boundaries show it. Your recovery after failure shows it. Let consistency speak first. Results will eventually translate. Hanvengrila. Focus on yourself does not mean caring only about yourself. Stoicism includes justice, responsibility, and service. You focus on your judgment so you can respond better. You protect attention so you can perform your duties. You stop seeking approval so relationships become more honest. You move in silence so the work receives energy that performance used to consume. Remember the 10 rules. First, stop explaining every decision. Communicate what is necessary and let a responsible choice stand. Second, stop collecting opinions from people who do not carry the consequences. Seek qualified counsel and accept responsibility for the decision. Third, protect your attention like a private room. Decide what enters and what deserves your best energy. Fourth, build before you announce. Let private repetition become stronger than public intention. Fifth, let people misunderstand you when further explanation no longer serves truth or duty. Sixth, replace validation with a private scorecard based on wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. Seventh, use silence as discipline, not punishment. Speak when speech serves truth and remain quiet when words would only feed noise. Eighth, choose one essential duty and return to it whenever distraction appears. Ninth, stop chasing people, praise, and outcomes that do not belong to your control. 10th, let consistency speak before results arrive. Build evidence, measure honestly, and adjust without drama. Now begin a 7-day silence and focus challenge. Choose one project, habit, or responsibility. Do not announce it publicly. Each morning, perform one focused block before unnecessary digital input. Each evening, record one piece of evidence. For 7 days, reduce explanations, protect attention, and let the work remain private. At the end, ask, did I complete more when I spoke less about completing? Did I feel less pressure when I stopped managing every opinion? Which distractions became visible? What deserves another 30 days? Do not expect perfection. You may over-explain tomorrow. You may check the phone. You may announce something because excitement takes control. Notice it. Correct it. Return. Stoic practice is not one dramatic declaration. It is repeated return to chosen conduct. And remember, some people may become uncomfortable when you stop explaining. They were accustomed to access, accustomed to your defense, accustomed to having every opinion answered. Your quiet may feel like rejection to someone who benefited from your constant availability. Do not become cruel. Do not perform mystery. Remain honest, respectful, and clear. But do not reopen a decision merely because someone dislikes losing influence over it. Your life is finite. Every hour spent managing casual judgment is an hour unavailable for work, love, service, health, learning, and rest. Spend attention where it can become character. If you are accepting the 7-day challenge, write this in the comments. My results will speak. Subscribe for more practical Stoic lessons about discipline, emotional control, self-respect, and focus. The world does not need another announcement about who you intend to become. It needs the work only you can do. Close the argument, protect the hour, keep the promise, move in silence, and let your life become the explanation.